Okay. We are now ready for the Ask Ron segment for this week, which we are filming on location in St. Louis, Missouri at the Quick Start Real Estate School.
Woohoo! And Nikki's going to go out and film the arch because we're sitting almost right under it while we're filming this at the hotel.
It is so cool.
All right.
All right, the first question for this week's Ask Ron is from...
First question is, where did this sign come from?
What does the sign say?
Because Lynette bought that for me as a present. It says, "We buy houses." It lights up.
Yes, it's cool because you can hang it in your office or you can just hang it in your house to remind you, what do you do for a living? We buy houses.
Okay.
All right, can I get down to business?
Yes.
Okay, the first question for the...
She's been grouchy all day long.
That's because I have to do everything. Okay, the first question for the Ask Ron is from Ariel in Hawaii.
Aloha.
And who's going to Hawaii?
May. We're going to May, right?
We are, that's right.
And
we're
the
going on the cruise.
Come on here, Jay.
Yeah.
All right, come on in, Jay.
Jay's coming in May as well. All right.
Anybody else want to come on down for The Price is Right?
Where's Brian? Where's Brian?
All right, now, okay, one of us has to get down to business
We
here.
haven't introduced Todd over here yet.
Okay, there's Todd. Todd, say hi.
Hi.
Hey, Todd.
Hello.
Where are you from, Todd?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Ooh, Minnesota.
Todd's one of our mentors, incidentally.
All right, now
My
let's...
name's Lynette Wolf. We're the Wolf couple.
No kidding.
Couple.
All right, down to business because that's what Nikki does. Okay, the first question is from Ariel in Hawaii. And the first question Ariel asks is, Ron, can I transfer a property with an existing mortgage into a land trust?
The answer is yes. But be careful, Ariel. Now, you in Hawaii, you don't have necessarily fee simple property. You may not own the land. So you need to ask your attorney that question because you have to have land to have a land trust. But the answer is yes. No lender can stop you from putting property in a land trust. And in fact, the law that prohibits them from stopping you is the Garn-St. Germain Federal Depository Institution Act of 1982.
Wow.
Okay, the second part of Ariel's question is, do you usually sign agreements in the trust name?
Anybody want to take that? The answer is, apparently they don't want to take that.
If Brian was here.
The answer is, there's only one house in a land trust. So when you sign agreements, whoever signs the agreements is signing for the trustee. So the answer is yes.
All right, that concludes Ariel's questions. Question number 2 is from Mary Ann in California.
Mary Ann, how could we do this
Hi,
without...
Mary Ann.
Hey, Mary Ann!
Hello.
Okay, Mary Ann's first question is, do I need to form some type of corporation or LLC first to use a land trust?
No, they have nothing to do with each other, Mary Ann. Land trust is a separate entity. You can take title of land trust and be the beneficial interest yourself if you wish, which is what I did for a long time.
And her second question is, in what kind of deals would I use a land trust?
Now, who wants to answer that?
You can use a land trust on any deal.
Any deal you buy.
Any
deal
real
you buy,
property.
Right.
Any real
Any
property.
deal that you buy.
Whenever you take title in the trust. If you're leasing it, trust is irrelevant.
Correct.
Okay, the next question is from Michael in Virginia.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Michael asks, if you install a lease option tenant buyer in the middle of the month, will their next full payment be due on the first, or do you prorate the second month's rent?
Now you guys take that.
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, so if you install somebody on the in the middle of the month, when we close, we collect the prorated amount for that month plus the next month's rent when we close.
That's generally the way to do it. You actually can do it whenever you guys agree.
Yep.
That's
Tell you
right.
the truth, what I do a lot, I give them the 2 weeks and collect for the first of the next month, quite often. That's just the kind of the generous guy I am.
I'm not so generous.
Well, hey, Rob, your generosity may be predicated upon how large your non-refundable lease option deposit is.
Exactly.
That
That might have a little
Might
something to
weigh
do with
into it.
might be
think?
true.
Might
Yeah.
weigh into it.
All right, the next question is from Chad in Minnesota.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, my area.
Yes, Minnesota.
This is yours, Todd.
Chad says, I have noticed houses listed on the MLS as an auction, but I can't find any information on what it is referring to. Do you know how I can follow up on those houses?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would talk to a realtor that you're working with in the area, Chad. If you're dealing with properties off of the MLS and you're looking to buy off an auction, I would just deal with your local realtor. Yep.
It's frankly no different than making an offer on any other property, except your offer is not even going to get entertained till the auction is over. That's all it means.
Okay, the next question is from KJ Roberts in California.
Okay.
Hey, KJ.
Hi.
KJ says, my local paper charges $29 per 1,000 to include a flyer with the paper. So I'm thinking of ordering 100,000. Have you ever tried ads like this?
I have, actually, but I wouldn't do 100,000.
We won't do that many to start with.
No way,
We want
don't
to
do that.
test it.
You got to always test first small, KJ. And I assume you're talking about buying houses, and I think it's a good idea. At
Yes.
that price, how can you resist? That's a good idea, but test first and see if it works. And honestly, you ought to send this flyer into my office and let them get it to me, and I'll take a look at it and critique it, send it back to you. Because when I did it, and I've done it many times, I buy houses on one side, then I sell houses on the other side, so I get them both all on one flyer. And if I were you, I'd make the flyer in a brightly colored paper and make darn sure it does not go in the Sunday paper, or it's just going to get lost in all the crap they throw away. And probably a good idea to put it in Monday or Tuesday's paper. You agree?
I agree.
Yes. Okay. And that, yeah, if at that price, you got to try it.
That's a good price.
And you got to try it when you have houses for sale as well. Build a flyer on the house and put it in the paper. In fact, you got to try it for about everything. If I still had a restaurant, I'd use that. I'd use that to get people to the restaurant. That is really, really cheap.
That's a low price.
I can't believe that.
Very low
cheap.
price.
Seriously.
Okay, the next question is from Tony in Indiana.
Hey, Tony.
Tony's question is, I am a licensed realtor and going to start direct marketing to expired listings. Do you know if I need a legal disclosure added to my marketing piece?
I'll take that. I used to be a real estate agent. The thing about the real estate agent, you definitely need to check with your broker on the disclosures. Some of them want you to put your real estate license number and so forth, so they'll have their guides and rules on what they want you to do when it comes to advertising, because disclosure is crucial when you're a real estate agent.
She said the license is expired, if I'm not mistaken.
It's an expired
No,
listing.
she wants to start.
It's just an expired
She
listing.
wants to
So
target
anything you
expired
do
listings.
as a real estate agent, you must run it through your broker.
Yes, and you're probably going to have to disclose that
You're
you
gonna
have a
have to
license
disclose.
in your advertising.
That's correct.
Okay, the final question is from Reynold in Florida.
Hey, Reynold.
Reynold asks, I want to follow up on FSBOs that do not accept my initial offer of lease optioning or seller financing. Is there a script I can use to call them back after our first conversation and get them to say yes?
We have a script for that.
Well, tell us what it is.
Well,
And
have-
tell them the time frame
Yes.
as to when you should follow up and what the gap should
now,
be.
if you got a no on lease option and a no on owner financing, you definitely want to put it in your follow-up file. We usually follow up within 3 weeks. We'll put it in the 1 through 31 file if you want to keep it simple. If you don't have it like on the, like a real flow system or whatever, at least have a file system 1 through 31. Follow up in 3 weeks from now. Follow-up is the key. We get a ton of deals because of our awesome follow-up. So you definitely want to put it up in the follow-up file, and we would just follow up with the normal, the
Just checking back to see if we talked a few weeks ago. At that time, you weren't interested in selling with a lease purchase or owner financing. Just want to make sure that's still the case. Should we get together or not?
Exactly.
And I've got to say, when it comes to in the past 13 years of us buying houses, when we're buying houses for sale by owners, at least 50% of our deals that we do are from the follow-up. At least 50%.
I would say more than that. Even, on the
So
follow-up.
if you don't have the follow-up in there,
Follow-up's
you're missing out
crucial.
on at least half of the deals.
Remember, the longer the house has been on the market, the more amenable the seller is to talk to you about terms.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. That's
All
good
right,
advice.
that was the final question. Ron, do you have some lasting words to leave for these people?
Words of
Lasting
wisdom.
words.
Words of wisdom.
Lasting words.
My lasting words for wisdom are, it's dinner time and we're done.
Bye-bye.